Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Derek Collins, and I'm here to provide some lessons on self awareness, social awareness, decision making, and self regulation. A little bit about me: I'm a therapist here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have a school violence prevention curriculum called Beyond the Trigger Gun Violence Prevention Workbook. And I just want to give you guys a couple of strategies that will help you teach your students on how to find out more about themselves and developing some SEL skills. So let's get started. One of the things I like to talk about is self-awareness. So one thing that I like to teach my clients is that no one should know you better than you know yourself. This is very important. So you have to really know who you are. So what do I mean by that? Um, are you an evening person? Are you a morning person? Uh, what foods affect your body positively or negatively? Uh, what puts you in the best position to win? All right, personally and professionally. Me personally, I'm a night person. I'm a night owl. So it's better for me to take classes at night. This is self-awareness. I know that I thrive best in the front of the class on the left side of the class. That is self-awareness. Um, I know that I lose weight faster when I hop on the treadmill and do my daily mileage. I know that about myself. I know that I'm not a morning person, so my days do not start until about 10 a.m. So I'm setting myself up for success. These are the things that you want to teach your clients when you're going through the curriculum of showing them about self-awareness. No one should know them better than they know themselves, okay? And we're going to talk about these things in group. So when you're using the curriculum, when you're facilitating these classes with your students, you have to break this down and show them, hey, these are examples of self-awareness, and show them what you mean by that. Because what we have to do, we have to get into the details of it. Nothing is like surface layer, okay? We have to get down in there deep and talk about the things that makes them think, okay? Um, Basically, what makes them tick, okay? So we want to teach them how to analyze themselves, sit down, get out a piece of paper, and really think and evaluate what makes them do this, do that, what affects their body, what foods affect their body, what music affects their body, uh, their mood, what affects their mood. Like you want to ask them, hey, give me a playlist of some things that you can listen to. Develop a playlist, a positive mood playlist that will put you in a positive mood. So if you're in a bad mood, write down a playlist that will immediately put you in a good mood. Okay? These are some things that you can work out with your students. And we discussed this using our curriculum. So you also want to develop social awareness. Very important. Okay? The ability to read the room, know what's going on, know when to shut up, know when to talk, know when to make a statement, when not to make a statement, know when to stand up, sit down, know when to take advantage of certain opportunities, know when to speak up, know when to get out the way because there's danger in the room. Okay? Understand the nuances of life. Pay attention to their surroundings. One of the things that I teach my clients especially is being conscious and aware. We want to be aware of our surroundings and opportunities. And so many people miss out on opportunities because they're not paying attention. They're on autopilot. Their unconscious is running their body basically. So for example, like have you ever been driving your car and you're daydreaming the whole time? You're literally just daydreaming, and then you find out you end up at your destination. You snap out of it and you reach your destination without wrecking your vehicle. Your unconscious was driving the car. And these are things that you need to pay attention to, or you need to teach your clients or your students to say, hey, let's have some social awareness and pay attention to what's going on, because it's very easy to drift off and not pay attention. That's why I advise a lot of my clients. I say, hey, go a week without playing any music in your car and see how much more that you notice. Go a week and see what happens. Okay? You start noticing billboards, you start noticing signs, you start noticing businesses, you start noticing all these different opportunities. But a lot of people miss out on opportunities because they're not paying attention. And these are things that I want you guys to teach your students when we're talking about social awareness. Okay? Very important. Knowing what works, knowing how to influence people. Okay? Knowing how to get a smile, having some charisma. All that matters, and all that can be learned. Okay? But the best way to do it is through practice. And that's why we want to practice these things when we're teaching our psychoeducation groups for our school violence prevention programs. Very important to practice. Okay, we're not just out here doing a class real quick just to get it over with. We're trying to meet the requirements. No. We want to get deep. Okay, we want to make an impact. We want to create change. Okay, because we want our students to think not just critically, but also become introspective and really evaluate their lives to figure out what do they want, what are they gifted at, okay? What are their gifts? What are their values? What are their principles, okay? These are things that we talk about in the group. We have to decide, okay, what are your values? What are the things that you value, okay? What are the things that you value? You could value your car, your health, your family, but then also, what are some things or principles that protect those values? Because most people, they have values, but they don't have principles. And these are some of the things that you're going to teach using the curriculum. You're going to teach your students how to develop principles. What do I mean by principles? Okay? Principles could be rules of living. Principles are the things that protect your values. So, I value my car. So a principle could be, I always keep my car clean. I wash my car every week because I value my car. I value my health. The principle to protect that value would be, I eat healthy food every day. I work out at least an hour a day, 5 days a week. That could be a principle. These principles protect these values. Family could also be a value, but we also need a principle to protect that value. So I never put my family in a situation, or I never put myself in a situation where I could lose my family, freedom, or money. So that could be a principle that will protect your family. Okay, I do things to make my family proud. That could also be a principle. Okay, so it's very important that you teach your students principles and values and have some social awareness. All this ties together. Self-awareness, this ties in together with self-awareness, values and principles, this ties together. Okay? Self-awareness. Who are you? Okay? What do you value? What is important to you? Okay? What is not important to you? That's a part of it too. What do you need to ignore? Are these things important to you? Does this matter? Mood management. Okay? Also with SEL, we want to talk about decision making. That's very important. So in their curriculum or their book, we have decision making scenarios. And one of the things that you do in the book, we want to practice decision making. How do you get better at dancing? How do you get better at math? How do you get better at speaking a foreign language? It's practice. That's how you get better. Riding a bike, practice. So we practice decision making. Very important that we do this. When you're using a curriculum, you're going to practice with your students and go through scenarios with this decision-making scenarios that they can practice and bring things up, stir the pot. Okay, one of the things that we cannot do is have a boring group. I refuse to have a boring group. I'm not with that. I'm all about having things that are just, I don't know. When you're doing this, you can get bored, but I don't want you to get bored. You need to be excited about this. And you want your students to be excited about this. So you're going to stir the pot. And you're going to have some scenarios that really spark some interest. And it could be based off of current events, which is always good. But also some things that makes them think. The goal is to make your students think. Cognitive behavioral therapy. We want to make our students think and really think about their decisions, their values, their beliefs, and principles, and how they're going to move forward. Okay? So it's very important that we do this and talk about decision making, and it can be really fun. I love decision making scenarios. We have a lot of fun ones that we go over in the curriculum. Also, we love to talk about mood management, okay, and building your self-esteem. Those are things that are important to teenagers. I know it was important for me. I didn't realize it at the time. And, you know, even boys and young men suffer from low self-esteem. I know I did. I suffer from it. And unless you have someone that you really feel comfortable talking to this about, most boys are not going to discuss this, okay? No one's going to really admit and say, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, teacher, hey, counselor, I'm struggling with my self-esteem. And a lot of times, they might not even know that they're struggling with their self-esteem because they may not have heard of it or understand it completely. So it's very important that we have these discussions about self-esteem and how to improve your self-esteem. And you want to give them strategies on how to improve it. Okay? There are several strategies to improve your self-esteem that the curriculum goes over. Okay? Very important that you do that. Also, mood management. That's super important. Okay? We give some strategies in the book regarding mood management. And one of the things I love to talk about is, hopefully I spelled this right, nostalgia. Okay? Nostalgia. Thinking of things in the past that made you feel really good, that was awesome. Thinking of your best birthday. Watching funny movies on YouTube. Watching funny videos on TV. What will change your mood instantly? Knowing what will change your mood. What will make you sleepy? If you do this every time, it's going to make you sleepy. If you do this every time, it's going to make you happy. If you put yourself in this situation, it's going to make you feel better. Thinking about positive things from your past. How does that make you feel? What was the best birthday you ever had? What did you do? Who was there? And how did it make you feel? You know, going back to those moments. Also, mood management. Understanding how certain foods affect your body. We talk about that as well. Okay? How certain medications are affecting your student's body. Because some of your students are might be taking medication. Some of them might be taking Adderall. Okay? How does that affect their anger management? Okay? If they're taking an amphetamine, how's it going to affect them? Okay? These are things, or a stimulant. Amphetamine, what am I talking about? Excuse me for a second. If they're taking a stimulant, how is it going to affect them? Okay? How's it going to affect their anger? How's it going to affect their mood? Are they going to have mood swings? Some people can't handle it. How's it going to affect their weight? How's it going to affect their appetite? Okay? Understanding what we can do to change your student's mood is important. Food, weather, clothing, heat, cold. There are various factors that affect someone's mood. Okay? Have you ever been hangry? I know I have. All right? I've been hangry, and I don't do well in the heat. Okay? I get agitated when I get too hot. So it's very important to talk about these things with your students. Okay? So we have nostalgia, also doing good things for people. Nice gestures, acts of kindness. Okay? Drawing for some kids. My son, he loves to draw. Okay? Some people love to listen to music. Because we're talking about mood management here. What are some things that can improve your student's mood? They need to decide it, not you, because everyone's different. Some things work for me that may not work for another person. You know? I love mapping out my life. Okay? I love designing my life. I love planning my life. Some people are good at planning. That brings them comfort. Some people like control. All right? Some people like being social. Okay? For some people, there's nothing better for them just to be in a group of people and have a discussion and talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And some people, like my wife, she loves to be by herself, alone. She loves alone time. She's an introvert. Okay? So it's very important for you to discuss these things with your students. Hey, who are you? Are you an introvert? Do you value your alone time? Or do you value time with other people? These are things that will help. Okay? You want to talk about all these different issues. You don't have to be all super deep or anything like that, but you also want to build a rapport. When you're teaching groups, it is so important to build a rapport. And you're not going to be fake, you're not going to be phony, you're going to be yourself, but you're also going to have a judgment-free zone that makes people feel comfortable talking to you. Very important that you do this. If you don't do this, it's not going to be a good group. I've been teaching a group for a very long time, in person and on Zoom, and you have to establish that rapport immediately. You got to let them know where you're coming from, that this is a safe space, and they have the freedom to speak their mind without being cut off or disrespected. That's why I love teaching groups, and that's what makes this curriculum different. All right? So if you have a school violence prevention program, this is what makes it so much just different. No one is doing this. No one is doing this. No one's providing psychoeducation groups to prevent school violence. And that's what we're doing. We're giving children an open space, students an open space to discuss their needs, their wants, their desires, their fears, without judgment, and to discuss with other students and evaluate ideas, evaluate concepts, get understanding from their peers. A lot of times, people don't have the chance to go to therapy or the opportunity to talk about critical issues or traumatic events that may have occurred in a safe space. It also gives you an opportunity as a facilitator, if you feel comfortable, to share some of your things that you've gone through in the past or some things that you have overcame. Just something to think about. Because when we're teaching psychoeducation groups, it can be a really good thing or it can be a really bad thing. But we're going to make it a good thing with training. Okay? we're also going to discuss anger management. Anger management is important. I've been teaching anger management for about 15 years. And anger management is important. Okay? And we can teach the science of anger. And I can give you guys a brief rundown real quick. This is us, we're normal. And then all of a sudden, boom, we are triggered. Whoa, somebody made us upset. All right? Our emotions go up. Right, emotions right here. Always remember the E in emotions represents energy. So always remember that the E in emotions stands for energy. Our emotions go up, and then they go up and up and up and up and up, and then it gets to a point to where we explode. Then after we explode, it goes down. For some people, it goes down, and it goes back up, and it goes back to normal. Down here, we call this a post-explosion depression, or PED. And that's when people say, why did I say that? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? I shouldn't have reacted that way. Why did I say that? Why did I react that way? Why did I get violent? And they get depressed about the situation after they calm down. But some people do not experience a PED. Some people go back to normal after they come down. Not everyone has a PED. So everyone does not have a post-explosion depression. Some people go back to normal. But when we're teaching anger management, we teach our students that, hey, we have two choices. There's nothing wrong with getting angry. Okay? Anger is an emotion, just like happiness. I cannot teach you how not to be happy. That is impossible. Just like I cannot teach you how not to be angry. But what I can teach you is to make a good decision after you get angry. Because we have two choices after we get angry. We have a good choice or a bad choice. Those are the options. After you get angry, you have a good choice or a bad choice. And we want to teach our students to make what? A good choice. So what we do, we teach them to be what? Conscious and aware. So, I'm going to write down conscious and aware. So, I'm sure they probably teach this in high school biology, that when our emotions are going up, we're entering the fight or flight response, or freeze in some cases. So, you're building up energy to fight, or you're building up energy to run away. And what we want to do, we want to be conscious and aware of this. So we want to remove ourselves from the triggering event right here before we get to the point of explosion. We're going to remove ourselves because we're conscious and aware of our emotions. We are conscious and aware of the energy that's building up. So we remove ourselves from the triggering event. We can also do this. We can also change our focus. A lot of times when people get violent and they get too angry, it's because they're too focused on the triggering event. They keep focusing on it. That's all they think about. And I tell our students, I say, hey, it's like driving a car looking through the rear view mirror the whole time. If you keep on doing that, eventually you will wreck. Do not focus on the triggering event. You have to change your focus. And we can also change the perception, because everything is not an L. Everything is not a loss. Sometimes that loss is a lesson. So what we want to teach our students is to change their perception of the event, or change their focus, or remove the energy. Sometimes when people are about to get in a fight, we tell them, hey, go take a walk. You know why? Because we want them to remove the energy. Go do some push-ups real quick. Go get it off your chest. Go around the corner, go vent, go scream. Some people believe in that, other people don't. But you have to remove that energy because it's built up in you. But we also teach our students that anger is not always a bad thing, because anger can be used for good. It can be a motivating tool to let you know that something needs to change. And I tell people, you know, anger could be used for good to get a lot done. You know, if you hate your job, you're angry about your job. Now I'm motivated to get a new job. I hate my boss. I hate my girlfriend. Now I'm gonna get a new girlfriend. I'm gonna get a new boyfriend. That's the motivation that I need to get off my butt and go make something happen with my life. Right? Anger might motivate you to get more education, to get more skills. These are the things that we teach our students. So you want to teach them that, hey, we are conscious and aware, we have a good or bad choice, we want to change our focus, also we want to remove the energy, and also we can change our perception of the event. Okay? It's not always a loss. And also understand that anger is a secondary emotion. So that primary emotion could be fear. A lot of people act out in anger when they're really afraid. That aggressive behavior, that is really stemming from fear. So a lot of times people have trauma responses, and that's why we want to deal with the root cause of the issues. And we want to talk about these issues in class. We want to talk about these issues in group. Very important to talk about the trauma, the neglect, the fear, the abuse. These are the conversations that we need to have in the violence prevention program. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to get open, and we're going to get deep, and we're going to have thoughtful, meaningful discussions with our students. That's how it's done. Okay? We want to have thoughtful, meaningful discussions. If they're not meaningful, if they're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word right now. What's the word? Can't think of the word right now, but you guys get what I'm talking about. They have to be meaningful conversations, authentic. They need to be authentic, and they need to be of substance, and they need to have value. There's nothing better than a great facilitator that really cares about their students. And if you're just a person that's just trying to get through it, it's going to be a horrible group. It's going to be a horrible class. It's not going to be a good lesson. But if you use the curriculum, and if you really dive into it and really try to make the best class for your students and yourself, you're going to get a ton of value from it. You're going to get a ton of value for yourself. You're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to learn more about your students. They're going to learn a lot about you. And it's going to be a great program. You're going to notice a change in your students. You're going to see self-esteem improve. You're going to see confidence improve. You're going to see some insight develop. They may even dream bigger. That's another thing that we talk about, is dreaming bigger and not existing and actually living and having goals past high school, because high school is not going to be our peak. Okay? We're going to prepare them for the future, whether it's college, trade school, or otherwise. All right? And we're going to set them up for success. That's what it's all about. Setting our students up for success so they can be responsible, thriving adults in the future, so they can take care of the next generation. That's what it's all about. Improvement and preventing violence. We want to prevent violence. We want to prevent bullying. We want to prevent unnecessary drama that can be easily just kicked down because we had a conversation. But the first step in prevention is awareness. We have to be aware that there is a problem, and we have to be mindful enough to decide that, hey, we're going to have a solution to this problem. And we're going to start implementing these programs, have prevention, and I don't care if it's 30 minutes a week, 30 minutes a day, let's have a conversation. Because sometimes, believe it or not, this is the only time they have these type of conversations, because they're not getting it at home in some cases. In many cases, their parents are at work all night, working the night shift. The students are at home by themselves, fending for themselves, cooking dinner, raising their siblings, and they don't have sometimes a big brother or their father in their lives, their mother in their lives, to tell them these things. And this is your opportunity to make a change, to have some meaningful conversations and have some serious discussions about their future and their life, because their life matters. And we're going to teach them how to cope with difficulty, how to be resilient, how to overcome challenges, how to break through. You guys are important. We need you. If you're watching this, I'm telling you, I need you. We need you. Your school needs you. We need these critical tools to assist our children in going to the next level. Not just academically, but emotionally. This matters. Your work matters. And I want you guys to do the good work, get trained, learn how to talk about anger management, learn how to provide solutions that could assist your students, and really take advantage of this curriculum, because it is a great opportunity. And also get trained. Okay? Get trained. I know this is a brief video, but I just want to show you guys how this stuff matters. Okay? Because we're going to talk about anger management. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about anxiety. We're going to talk about bullying. We're going to talk about social pressure, peer pressure, self-esteem, self-identity, principles, values, decision-making, self-regulation. We're going to talk about professional development, personal development. We're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about being courageous and having brave thinking. We're going to talk about positive thinking. We're going to talk about not what's the worst that can happen, but what's the best that can happen. We're going to provide hope for our students. We're going to show them a way, a real way, not some stuff that's just made up in a book. We're going to actually show them a way. Because I remember being in school, and I'm talking about college right now, asking my graduate school professors for advice, and they had no answers. That pissed me off. Like, I'm paying all this money, I'm getting all this debt, and you do not have any answers for me. That ends with our curriculum. That ends with our program. If you have a school violence prevention program, you're going to provide answers. And if you do not have the answer, you're going to go get the answer. Because we all don't have the answers to everything. I get that. But our kids need us, and solutions are there, and there's nothing new under the sun, and we can figure out how to overcome certain challenges, because I guarantee that they are not the first one to go through it. And there's people in your school, in your administration, that has been through challenges, that has overcame these challenges, and that can assist your students. Matter of fact, that's the main reason why a lot of people are therapists and counselors, because we're trying to fix our own problems. That's why I became a therapist. That's why I became a counselor. I was trying to fix my own problems. And I went through my problems so I could help my clients and my students overcome their challenges. And that's what you're going to do. So instead of me being long-winded, I hope this video helps you guys out. I'm so excited about the gun violence prevention curriculum. If you have any questions about our program, contact 404-503-8069. You can go to thediversioncenter.com. That's THEDIVERSION center.com. Or you can go to gunviolenceprevention.com. We would love to have a conversation with you. We would love to get this curriculum in your schools, in your nonprofit agencies, and your after-school programs. And I would love to do a workshop and train your team and get you established and where you want to be, because we are here to help, and I look forward to serving you. All right? Thank you for watching.